Pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Maritime Matters. Whether you're listening via radio wave on 97.5 FM, via the internet radio app, via cable Bahamas channel 951, or BTC Flow channel 606, we appreciate you and we humbly welcome you to our show. We now encourage you to check out our YouTube page. That's Maritime Matters Bahamas. Here you can listen to all our previous shows at your own leisure. So feel free to hit us up on YouTube. Go and search and pull up Maritime Matters Bahamas and go to town. You can listen all day and all night. Again, pleasant good evening. I am Captain Glenn Bain. This is show number 28. I'm telling you, tonight, our show sent us around handling the ropes to secure those big, huge, large ships that come into our shores. When a ship arrives at a port, they rely on skillful bodies to assist in safely securing their highly expensive ship alongside the dock. We will learn tonight the details involved in this maritime profession. So we are fortunate to have one of our experts in this field who will share his knowledge with us. A la carte mode on how this trade is carried out. So keep those lines taut, y'all, and chime in on the super duper discussion. Our sponsors for the night, One-on-One Pharmacy. You know the deal on them. That's my good little cousin Shantia Hill and her good mother Stephanie. And I just met Joy. Joy is one of the pharmacists and she off the chain. Shout out to Joy. Fill your prescription at the store or send your refills via the online site oneononepharmacy.com. There are two locations, East Street South and Charles Sanders Highway. When you walk in the door, they treat you with utmost royalty. By the way, they got another one coming in Freeport. There'll be number 3 in Freeport very soon, so look out for it. So you Freeport folks, be advised, you will have that good treatment from One-on-One Pharmacy. You know, Shantia used to be a heel. She's now a McBride. But you can't drop that heel. That's a Freeport name. Shout out to her daddy, Elon Hill. There you go. We are also sponsored by Bahamas Maritime Connection Limited. We provide a full slate of ISPS maritime security services. Thirdly, we're sponsored by Totally Secured Security and Investigation Services. They are headquartered in 8 Mile Rock. Here you go, Freeport again. But they work in Freeport too. For all your security guard duties or security investigation needs, please give my good friend, Andrew Sturrup, a call. 819-8944. He and a certified security team will see you straight. That's Totally Secured Security, 819-8944. Give Andrew a shout. To the listening audience out there, it will be remiss of me to go any further and not introduce our wonderful producer. So, ladies and gents, I introduce to you the insatiable, the man of the hour, the man with the power. He's trouble on the wheels of steel, as we all know. He's fully able, quite capable, the one and only Craig Gibson. And he gives a salute and says hello to the crowd. You're listening to Maritime Matters, people. On this show, we talk maritime. Maritime Matter airs weekly at 19:30 every Tuesday night here on Love 97 FM. The purpose of our show is to highlight persons that made significant contributions to the maritime field in the Bahamas and to sensitize Bahamians of opportunities, jobs, work in the maritime sector. So halfway through the show, we will open the phone lines. The number to call will be 326-8255. Again, that's 326-8255. Call us at any point during the show. Again, we want to highlight our standing maritime heroes. Of course, may their souls continue to rest in peace. And we're talking about none other than the champion skipper of the HMBS Flamingo, And not only Senior Commander Amos Roll, but all the other 18 men that were on board that ship that was so carelessly attacked didn't have a chance, but they survived, except 4. So to those 4 heroes and those other 19, I say, may the souls of those that have passed on rest in peace. We got our port controller extraordinaire, Mr. Leon Flowers. That's the man who took the port from way back when to nowadays. And now they're doing some more work at the port, as everybody should know. And they're going to take it to another level. Hey, we see that going on. I understand it's going to be very lovely. And we look forward to that completion. So Mr. Leon Flowers is gone, but the port lives on. We got our sloop sailing pioneer, the one and only, the legendary Captain Raleigh Gray. Raleigh Gray about. Last but not least, our Olympic sailing gold medalists. It took 2. Yes, the sailing champions, Sir David Knowles and Cecil Cook. And that's the Star Class sloop. Only carried 2, and they beat the world. So again, hats off to those maritime heroes, and may all their souls continue to rest in peace. What are some of the current matters in maritime? In the international maritime news, we'll read about a fire at a Cuban petroleum terminal. That's at Matanzas, which is, about 50 miles east of Havana. So it's not in Havana, it's on the outskirts. But this happened to be a base where super tankers come in and offload their goods. And they got a big tank farm there. And lightning struck on Friday and hit one of the tanks and caused it to become ablaze. Of course, the fire still rains on, and it's not only is it still raining on, it's actually spreading. So it started with 1 tank, then 2 tanks. And now it's moving into tank number 4. And these are not regular sized tanks. These are super tanks. These are huge, huge tanks. So far, based on all the reports, 17 persons are still missing and feared dead. And 121 are deemed injured. So that's the story on the big fire in Cuba. And they're calling on nearby countries. I don't know what we could do to help Cuba in this kind of situation. Because, we got firefighters. But boy, that kind of fire, I don't know if we ever deal with that kind. We got oil companies here too that carry large tanks. So hopefully lightning will not hit any of us. And we will never have to be faced with this type of thing. Because this is a massive fire. It's huge and it's very difficult to contain. I can tell you from experience. Not experience with that one, but experience in firefighting. Okay, our second story in the news, as far as maritime news or line maritime international feed, is China. Military exercises. Well, near Taiwan. Many moons ago, I would have told you that China is going to eventually take over Taiwan, just like I told you Russia is going to occupy Ukraine. Slowly but surely they're getting there, and they will eventually occupy Ukraine, put who they want in power, and then move on. But China's going to occupy Taiwan. They're not going to allow Taiwan to do what they want to do because they're so close. Look how close they are to China. That's like Bimini in Miami. And, they got this sea passage between Taiwan and mainland China. Because Taiwan fall, between the two main ports in China. So the Straits is very busy. And you would have known about a recent visit by Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan. And of course, they carried a lot of military might, trafficking the airwaves and the seas to make sure that, Nancy Pelosi was actually traveling on Air Force One. So that was no little easy operation. So they flaunted everything. Nancy Pelosi went in, she had discussions, and then she left. And then after she left, the Chinese came in and they say, we just doing some exercises. So they had their flotillas, aircraft carrier, surrounded by frigates and destroyers and submarines and all the rest of that good stuff. And they're flaunting their muscles. Look, we here too. So Taiwan wouldn't relax and say, boy, America got us. Because China ain't taking it easy. They're gonna get it. Okay, that's my view. Please feel free to call in if you have a different view. Third issue, Ukraine. Grain export speeds up. Now, we know that based on this war, well, I wouldn't even call it a war, based on this occupation of Ukraine by Russia, the ports were all closed because around in the Black Sea, just on the outskirts or to the south of Ukraine, where ships come in and out of Ukraine, they got Odessa, and of course they got one or two more ports that Russia had sewn up already. But it was agreed, it was a brokering agreement done basically by Turkey and the UN to say, look, we got all this grain in those silos, pile up millions of tons, let's try to get them out to the world, because the world's suffering. Because Ukraine and Russia, they put out about 30% of grain in the world. So Russia was still putting out grain, but Ukraine is they're bigger than Russia with the output of grain. So a lot of countries were suffering because they couldn't get that grain and make their bread and all the rest of that good stuff. But now they're out again, and they're going out in what they call convoys. So they would let out a spurt of ships that actually went to the silos and offloaded on the ships. And they would let them out couple at a time. And they have to escort them out because Russia have mines all over the place. And Ukraine have mines all over the place in the Black Sea. They know where their mines are. So they got to get together and escort these ships out on safe routes that don't call for no mine to explode and cause the ship to sink. And that's what's going on. So those are the three big, huge occupations of the worldwide maritime news feeds. Anybody want to add anything to that? Feel free to call in. Again, the numbers to call in will be 326-8255. I got my special guest standing by, and I can't wait to bring him on the mic. We are talking maritime, people. You are listening to Maritime Matters. At this point, we move to our first break, and when we return, we will engage tonight's most special guest. So please, stay tuned. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And without further ado, I reserve no hesitation in introducing tonight's guest. He hails all the way from the great city of Nassau. I believe you're from one of the island. We can find out in a little while. This cat, ladies and gentlemen, comes well experienced in longshoreman skills in the Bahamas. Here sits a fellow that, like a good handful of Bahamians, in the early stage of life, chose the stevedoring route. In a few short years, this brother just glided his way to the mountaintop, wrestled down the Buddha Dane and chewed on the betel nut. Brace yourself for quite an interesting and informative maritime discussion. I am privileged to present to you tonight a very practically informed individual with a profound wealth of knowledge in the longshoreman industry. Here with me sits an expert in stevedoring, securing and offloading ships, Mr. Arthur Gunn Johnson. Gunn, my friend, welcome to Maritime Matters. Talk straight to the mic.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Captain B.
Yes, yes.
Glad to be here with you, my brother.
Well, it's been a long time coming. We talked about this for a little while.
For a little while, and I hope this won't be my last.
Yes, yes. Did you grow up in Nassau, like I said? Because you might be an island boy. What island are people from, though?
No, I'm descendant from Eleuthera on Crooked Island. My mom was from Crooked Island.
Which settlement?
Gregory Town, Eleuthera.
Okay.
My father's from there.
It's a real Johnson.
Yeah, my father's from Gregory Town.
What do you name those softball players like Richard the Lionheart Johnson and them? They're your people.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you just come on. That's good soil.
Yeah.
And your father's from where?
My father was from Eleuthera, and my mom was from Crooked Island.
Which settlement in Crooked Island?
Fairfield.
Fairfield, I ain't too familiar. I know about Landrail Point.
Yeah.
I know about Colonel Hill. Everybody know about
Everyone
that.
know about Colonel
Know
Hill,
about Cabbage Hill.
Yeah.
I know, but what Fairfield? Which part of that is?
I don't.
You haven't been on there.
Yeah, I've been on there twice.
Okay, but you can't really say exactly where it is.
No.
Okay, Well, that's fine, man. I mean, it's good to be. All of us are from, descended from those islands
Yes,
at
sir.
some point or the next. Because everybody start flocking now, so when money start making for tourism.
Yes.
Otherwise, everybody stay on the island and grow their crops and send their stuff for harvest. When they harvest the stuff, they sell it for sale. So, who are some of your close family, your affiliates, people you grew up with? What area you grew up in Nassau?
Well, I'm from the proud constituency of Centerville.
Okay.
I grew up in McCullough Corner in the Masons Addition area.
Okay, all right. Boy, that's big time.
Yeah, that's my stomping ground.
Yeah, well, I did some time around there too, because
Yeah.
I had my good auntie Hetty. I don't know if you know all of Roberto and Kirk and them sat on East Street opposite Mount Pleasant Church.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's my
That's
dad.
your father.
So my daddy grew up right in the house.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
with my auntie Hetty and
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
man. So I know about them little areas too, because I used to spend time there too.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but that's good, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
it's good to have you in here tonight. And I know recently you've been having some real challenges with death in your family. I think you buried your aunt on Saturday past.
Yes.
And now your sister, you're getting ready to bury her this weekend coming.
Yes.
And this is like the worst time to be doing the show.
Yeah.
Or it could even be the best time to be doing the show.
Thank you very much.
But you have my deepest condolences, my brother. And what it was about 2 months ago we lost Uncle Cloyd.
Yes.
Yeah, Cloyd Gibson was one of the lion handlers as well. You all worked together for many years.
Yeah, that's one of my best. That's one of my best workers, man.
Yeah, man, and he's my good uncle.
Oh yeah.
So we God bless his soul. May he continue to rest in peace. And I got a good friend, Rumpus, Ray Chisholm. His mom just died today. He sent me a message, and Rumpus, man, I say to you, just be strengthened, my brother. And may her soul, of course, continue to rest in peace. I know you sort of writing, we all sort of writing on the wall about a week ago, but boy, like I told you, it's just, you can't really prepare for these type of things. So, ladies and gentlemen, our country is plagued with death nowadays, more so than I think any time in my memory. People close to me, people who I can relate to, actually dying. So, let's love each other and just continue to live with each other, for each other. And we all just passing through. But at the end of the day, when death strikes, it hurts. It hurts. So let's go on, man. So why did you choose to engage in longshoreman work? Gun?
Well,
I can call you Gun, right?
Yeah. No,
everybody know you as Gun.
Everybody know me as that.
Right? I know your name after, but
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Gun.
but,
Yeah, what caused you to really engage?
My father used to work. My father used to work out there.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
My uncle used to work out there.
Oh, so you couldn't duck that?
No, I couldn't duck that.
So you grew up around the docks?
Yeah, so one summer, my uncle called me and he said, listen, you need to come and do some summer work so you could help your mommy and get your uniform.
Right.
And GB, that was in June in the summer of 1980.
Wow.
When I got my first paycheck,
Right.
my mom had 11 kids.
What? Oh, you're from a huge family. And where do you fall in line with them 11?
I'm the eldest boy.
You're the oldest child of 11?
I'm the oldest boy. I'm the oldest boy.
Oh, you have one or two sisters older?
I have two sisters older than me.
Wow.
I'm the oldest boy.
Right.
GB,
You had to wake.
I had to work. And when I got my first check, my first paycheck was $235.
It's back in 1980.
This in 1980.
That's more than I used to make as a
GB.
busboy.
And listen, I asked the good Lord, I said, Lord, this is a turning point for me to help my mommy.
Yep.
And it was on until now.
Wow.
As I speak.
So you didn't never really do any other full-time job?
No, that's the only job
But
I've
you
ever
can't
had.
because you guys on the dock 24 hours. I don't know how you all do it.
GB, that's a on-call, round-the-clock job.
Round the clock, I know it. Because me
24/7.
doing piloting, coming out there.
Yeah, you know.
You all out there before
All out
me.
there.
I leave you all out there. Come back out there. You still out there.
it's-
Boy, that's that's how you got started.
Yeah, that's how
you
I
got a
got
good
started.
paycheck, and of course you made a living out of this, and you made a decent living, and you and many other people.
I school my kids.
That's right. That's right.
Take care of my mom. And do all of those things right from out there.
So anything you think you would like to see change in the stevedoring practice, how you do things out there? Because I travel on cruise ships. I used to like cruise. I've been all over the place cruising, especially after I start making $2-3. All I want to do is cruise. And a lot of ports you go to, you see the line handlers, they well uniform. They all wearing hard hats, the same color. They all wearing a vest with a certain name on it. I don't know if they wear steel-toe boots. I assume they do. But just what you see from the ship really carries it. It resonates professionalism, no matter what the job is. But 680 y'all on the dock, and you don't see that uniformity. I don't know if you see it now, but I know the many times, very few times I would have seen that type of uniformity in Nassau Harbor with the cruise ships. Is there something that you think we need to do to be able to make that impact like some of these other ports do?
Well, GB, we on the verge of that right now.
Okay.
And they have this policy at the port now that you have to be dressed a certain way to enter the dock. Take, for instance, at Awaki, you cannot enter Awaki port unless you have a fluorescent vest.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fluorescent vest, steel toe boots, hard hat,
Right.
and all of those things.
So all of you all have the same color hat, because that color is a big deal.
Well, that's what we trying. That's what I am trying with my team now.
You're
That's what
trying to
I'm
achieve
trying
that.
to change that, to trying to get us to unify so everybody can be identified. When you see one walk through the gate, you see all, because you could say, okay, they dockside workers,
Yeah.
they inskip workers,
Right.
and they McKinney Stevedoring workers.
You can tell the difference
You can
based
tell
on
the
what you're
different-
wearing.
they tell what you're
That's so
wearing.
beautiful. And the thing is, as simple as the vest, a fluorescent vest with a name on it, and everybody wearing the same vest.
Yes,
And a hard hat with the same color.
same color.
Could be white, could be blue, could be orange, could make it one of them pretty Bahamian fly colors.
That's what I prefer.
You know, so we could do this. So I'm so happy that you telling me that you guys are really working on it, because it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, man.
And I'm sure we can be better than those other countries, right? What is your most memorable moment in the history of doing all this? Because you did this 40 years now.
Yeah.
What do you remember? What stands out in your memory? I mean, a close call where somebody got hurt, something that was different from everything else. Anything stands out, like what you would say, this was a memorable moment?
Yeah, GB, Captain Bain, one of my linesmen got seriously hurt out there.
I think I remember that. That's Leash.
Yes, he got
Yeah.
hurt. And
He
GB,
and I grew up together in Bamboo
Yes,
Town.
and,
I know Floyd very well.
Captain Bain, that lived with me as I speak, as I sit right here in the front of you with this mic. That was, I mean,
And that goes to show how dangerous it could be.
oh, you mean the linesman job?
Yeah.
It's very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
That's the need for a hard hat
Yes,
and fluorescent vest and
Captain Bain,
steel toe boots.
Your father-in-law had a bad experience with that too, you know.
That's right. Well, big up to Mr. Valley Swan.
man.
He's the one who introduced me to the dock.
Yes.
And that was back, like you say, in the late 70s, early 80s,
He got
while I was in the defense force.
he got hit in his face with lucky thing he had on his glasses.
With a rope?
Yeah, with one of the monkey fish, you know.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
from the Evil
get to
Line.
Yes.
Right.
They threw it and they didn't
They didn't
indicate-
notify nobody.
No.
And he got hit
Yeah, and it hit him right in.
right in his face.
Yeah, man.
His glasses really protect him.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And thank God it didn't go that. But the job is very dangerous.
It's a risky job. It
Yeah.
is a risky job, and you gotta have your head. But experience is the best teaching these kind of work. Yeah.
The accident with Floyd that lived with me for a long time because
Yeah.
I was right there when it happened.
It was so. You watch it happen.
Yeah, I was right there.
Wow.
Man, and it was heart wrenching, man. I cried.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, when I heard about it, I was like, really? And I didn't know who it was until I found out it was him. You know. But it doesn't matter who it is.
No.
The reality is that when a line is going to hit you up in the air like that,
Yeah.
and that's going to take everything out of you.
Yeah, and it's all because of the ship.
Negligence on
Yeah,
the ship.
man. They wasn't. Normally, they supposed to have somebody there on the lookout for us.
Right.
When
they're about
either
to
be
heave
putting
in.
it off or be taking it on.
Right.
On this particular time, nobody was there.
Wow.
Everybody was inside. This was to the stern.
Right.
Everybody was inside the house.
Wow.
So when they
Tighten up it.
dropped, no, they
Oh, they
it was
dropped the line
two
first.
breast line.
Oh,
And they was
okay.
long. And they dropped both of them. Floyd was to one end and Leo was to one end.
Yeah.
Floyd was sending the slack to Leo.
Right.
The first one Floyd pulled, Leo tell him, no, not that one. That's the one on the bottom. I need the one on the top.
Right.
To take the top one off first.
Right.
And not because they wasn't looking, the one that's Floyd's slack, they gone ahead on that with the bench.
Oh, they tighten up on that one.
Yeah, and because we had was it off,
Yeah.
that come back like a slingshot.
Yes.
And
Once that ship
throw
tighten up,
him-
those benches are
that
very
throw
strong.
him at least about almost 20 to 30 feet in the
In
air.
the air.
Yeah, man.
Right. Wow.
And when he come down on the just on the pure concrete.
Wow. So, as far as tying up ships, what type or design of ships are currently required stevedoring assistance in Nassau? I know you work on Prince George Wharf. You also work on the car ships and whatnot at our quay.
Yeah.
Do you do anything? Your company in particular. Anything outside of those two? Y'all don't go to Clifton Pier
No.
and deal with tankers and that type of thing.
No.
So you basically cruise ships as your primary
Cruise ship is my primary
thing, and
yeah.
then you deal with the
The
car
car
boats as
ships,
well,
yeah.
and that's basically it. Then.
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, we have occasionally we have a rock boat, down at our
Oh yeah. Oh, y'all deal with that too.
Yeah, we deal with them too.
Okay.
Occasionally we
that's
have
the
one-
Bahamas Spirit, or
Yeah, occasionally
Right.
we have one of them, and then occasionally we might have a cement boat
that goes down
that
there
goes
as well.
down there. Yeah. So occasionally we venture off from Prince
Prince
George
George
Dock
Wharf.
and our quay.
Right. Our ship need service. Y'all
Yeah,
get for them.
yeah, we provide the service for them.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. So the ships, the cruise ships. If you was around, and obviously you was around from in the early '80s, ships are small.
Oh yeah,
They're getting bigger all the time.
GB.
Because I remember the Dolphin and them. It was like dinghies to these.
Yeah, and back in the days, the Dolphin them was big.
That's what I'm saying. Because that's all we knew.
That's all we knew.
They
The
were
Dolphin-
huge.
The Dolphin was one of the biggest cruise ship I've ever
And it
seen
was one of the biggest cruise ships in its time.
in its time. Yeah.
But if you look at the Dolphin today, size-wise, and let it sit alongside one of those Oasis class ships, you try to figure out if they could carry anybody.
Yes, it's no
And
comparison.
they only carried like 1,000 passengers.
Yeah, which one?
The Dolphin and them.
Yeah.
Back then.
Even if it's that.
Yeah, like 800 to
800,
1,000.
yeah.
And today, these ships carrying
6,000.
5,000 and 6,000 on one ship.
Yes.
So you can imagine the kind of size.
size.
Plus, they have more room on board.
Oh, yeah.
And all the rest of and they cost a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So you guys are tying up those very expensive,
Very expensive.
very huge, because the largest ships in the world come to Nassau.
Oh yeah.
I want people to know that.
Oh yeah. We had the
largest
We had the wonder
ships.
of the seas.
The wonder of the seas, the symphony of the seas, the whole class. They're the largest. They're the only ships over 200,000 gross tons.
Yes.
And I know because I used to have to check them out.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man. So that's kind of like how you all roll. You all rolling with the largest ships in the world. And you tying up these lines, and there are companies involved with this. You have a couple companies that do line handling. Three. Who are they?
They have Inchcape.
Inchcape is
Yeah,
one.
Inchcape, but
Right.
they only do Carnival.
Or they do all the Carnival ships.
Yeah, and then you have McKinney, Stevedoring. They
Right.
only do Disney.
That's Chrissy.
Yes.
Okay, Christy
And
do all the
then
Disney ships.
All the rest is ours. All the rest is mine.
And you was
I do
Dockside.
Royal Caribbean, yeah.
Okay.
Dockside, we do Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, MSC,
do everybody.
Norwegian. Yeah, we do everybody.
okay. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
So
man,
you that's why you be out there all day, all the
Yeah,
time.
because we have the most of the ships,
Mm-hmm.
and then by far we have the biggest. So
Yes,
my crew,
yes.
my crew.
Well,
linesman crew-
RCCL is the biggest, so
Yeah,
y'all
so
have them.
my linesman crew, we are the biggest of all the company.
And about how many people in your company?
Well, you mean linesman
Well, yeah.
all together?
Well, that comes on the dog. That works.
Well, the line handlers is 12, including myself.
Okay.
Now, with the car carriers, is more. Because
Yeah, you got to get some hands to help
Yeah,
drive
yeah,
those
yeah,
cars
yeah,
off
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and all the rest
But
of
with
that.
the lines, it's like roughly like 14 of us altogether.
Yeah, but a dozen plus two.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of number you had from way back, or you have more now than you had in the past?
No, we have more now than we had in the past.
Yeah, because these ships are much bigger.
Yeah, man.
And the lines are heavier. Are they heavier?
TB, way heavier, man. Way heavier.
Okay.
Way heavier.
So you all work harder.
GB, way heavier. And we have to carry them twice the distance now because the place is bigger now.
Yes,
Yeah, man,
yes,
the port
yes.
is huge now.
Space, yeah.
Today, I have a video I do specifically for you.
Okay.
We was tying up the Independence of the Seas.
Right.
And we had to tow some breast line, some stern lines over 75 feet long.
Wow.
So I had to have everybody there.
So you had to have the whole 12 or 14, everybody
I
on shore for that one ship?
whole crew there, yes.
For that one ship?
Including myself.
But sometimes you got more than one ship docking at a time.
Because
you all have to split up.
Yes, I mean the ropes on they put some new ropes on there now, and each one of them rope weigh about almost 40 to 50 pounds.
Wow.
Not wet.
They ain't hit the water yet.
They ain't hit the water yet. So when they hit the water,
they much heavier. Well, I would know that.
Yeah. The weight out there is.
So I know you all used to use forklift to help pull the weight on some of them lines.
Yeah.
You still using forklift?
No, we don't use forklift. No.
Why not?
It's simply because the port saying that if we need forklift, we're gonna have to use their forklift.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're gonna have to use their forklift.
And that's an issue. So you guys are manually handling every single line right now.
Every single line, and we are the man handling.
See, working extra. I'm sure the pay got to be more for all that extra work.
Well, GB, I get my crew together, and we try, and we could get it together, and I put my crew up against any line handlers around there. Anyone,
anywhere in the world,
anywhere.
That's right.
And we could get it done.
Because you all have plenty experience, and you all are very knowledgeable when it comes to and I want to talk about some of the details of how do you know which line to put over which bullet.
Okay, well, I communicate when the ship coming in the morning time. The first thing we need to do, we find out which break the ship is going in,
right,
and whether is she turning around or she coming in bowing.
Oh,
yeah.
But
okay.
Sometimes you don't know that ahead of time.
No.
Okay.
Like I saying, because
being a pilot, I know that some of those decisions are made at the last minute.
Coming in, yeah.
Yeah.
So when it's like that, I communicate with all of the pilots.
Right.
And we have a very, very, very good communication.
Now, what kind of communication you have with the pilots? Because back then it was like whistling and sign language. What about the radio, handheld radios? Do you guys?
I have personally I have a handheld radio, but I use my personal telephone.
Oh, so you and the pilot normally talk by phone. Well, we ain't have no cell phone back then.
No, we had no cell phone.
So I had to use radio or sign language.
Yeah, so me and them we talk.
And then some of the pilots could whistle very well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they could whistle very well.
So is it the pilot or the officer in charge of the line handlers on the ship that you kind of talk directly with when it comes to tying up the ship?
No, I talk, if it's a problem, I talk directly with the pilot.
Okay, it's a problem.
He's in the bridge.
If something changed.
Yes, he's in the bridge. And
right, he's with the captain. So
yes.
They have communication with the line handlers.
Right, so he can right there, if his decision needed to be made, because sometimes the renovation is going on the port now, and
right.
Sometimes, some decision have to be made, and, I just have to call the captain. I say, Cap, we have a situation down here, where they want us to put the lines. We cannot put them there because the construction is going on there. So perhaps you probably might have to go either more back or more forward.
Right.
So he say, okay, will do.
It's a challenging feeling, Brother Johnson, on a choppy day with heavy winds, raining, to be engaged in this type of shipping activity. You've got water splashing all over the place, sea water spraying up on you. It's raining, you got on your little raincoat, but it's still getting wet. The wind's howling and blowing strong. The temperature cold, so you got the chills. Is there any compensation fitting for when things get really rough?
GB, you got to make the best out of it.
So the pay is the same, whether rough, whether calm.
You got to make the best out of it.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah, man, you got to make the best out of it.
That's rough. So you guys come to work prepared for anything because
this is GB. I mean, this is an all-weather job. Weather.
That's right.
Yeah, this is an all-weather job. So, you got to come prepared. With me personally, I have in my vehicle, I have jacket, raincoat, water boots, windbreakers.
Ready for anything.
This because sometimes you come in the morning time, the sun's shining, and as soon as the boat coming to the harbor,
things change.
Man.
But you can't go home.
You can't go home.
So you gotta have everything there.
You gotta have everything there. Because if you don't have everything there, you have to wait like that.
You have to suffer.
You have to suffer.
Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna open the phone lines just in case anybody wanna chime in on this conversation. We got a long way to go.
Yes, sir.
Plenty of things to cover. And so far we rocking and rolling and the time is rolling with us.
Yes, sir.
It's already what? We already halfway through the show.
Halfway through the show.
So, ladies and gentlemen, again, my guest tonight, Mr. Arthur Gunn Johnson, the extraordinary line handler all his life. Just what he did, he knows it better than everybody else. He's a very good friend of mine. We go way back, and he's my guest tonight, and he's explaining and telling us what they go through in tying up these cruise ships, tying up these car boats. When the car boat come, how they drive things off, where they put them, what happened if a car break down. We already reached up out here.
No.
Yeah, we got all that to talk about. So if you want to call in on the show tonight, please, the number to call is 326-8255. That's 326-8255. Any questions you have for Brother Johnson, and you could call him Gunn like me, because that's what everybody calls him. Everybody calls him Gunn. But the name is Arthur Johnson again, and please feel free to chime in. Is there any government regulations pertaining to line handlers? I mean, if a young person want to be a line handler, do they have to qualify somehow, or they just need to be linking with you guys, and y'all could teach them as they learn? And how do people get in to being a line handler?
Well, if you are interested in the job, and we have an opening for you, what we do, we'll provide the on-the-job training for you.
Okay.
We'll.
It's hard to train anything outside on the job, because you ain't gonna really see no big ropes and things nowhere else.
Listen, man, I already had about 4 or 5 persons.
Yeah.
Who was interested.
Right.
They come one day, and they never come back no more.
Can't handle that.
No.
But not only the physical challenges, but you also got that time factor.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
the main thing.
That's the main thing. Because
you ain't got no life.
You ain't got no life. You come in the morning time, and then when you done finish tying up, and then you got to come back to turn loose, and then in between that, then you got to come back to tie up again. The fellas them say, listen, Brother Johnson, I don't know how on God's earth you always make it.
Yeah, that's
because
rough.
this job ain't for no normal people.
No, and if you grow up in it, you know what you're dealing with.
Yes.
And people need to understand what you guys are doing, because I know, because I've been out there and I see you all in action, right? But the normal person, the regular Bahamian, wouldn't understand that the guys who tie up those cruise ships, they're basically living out their car all day.
All day, man.
And sometimes all night.
All night.
Because ships come in all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
So, my hat's off to you guys too, man. I see you do it, and of course, as a pilot, I had to do it too. So I know exactly what it's all about. But, I mean, you guys are there all the time. Pilots may go for 1 or 2 ships, but y'all got to be there for all the ships.
Yeah. And now you have been its voice. When you was there, okay, just say we got 5 boats coming in.
Right.
When you was there, one of y'all had to bring in 2.
Yeah, go back out for
back out. But now, we got ships coming in one right behind.
Right behind that, because you got more space.
You got more space, and we got more pilots now.
More pilots, more berths.
More berths. So
while only 5 or 6 ships could have fit in the harbor back then, you could use 7, 8 now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So sometimes I just have 3 movements one time.
Yeah, and you guys split up your people.
Split up my people
and watch what's going on. But you use less people when the ship is leaving, than when they're coming in.
Yeah. I don't carry that much when they coming in. But what I try to do is that the persons who do the hard work, give them a chance to come back to get a piece of the easy part too.
Do they teach? They can't teach this in school, how to tie up a huge ship.
Yeah.
You think they would students in school be able to learn that in school and okay, so I wondered about that. Is this because it's so fascinating? Do they have school groups coming out to watch you guys work?
Yeah, they have.
You saying school groups coming to watch you work?
They used to
they
come
would question you and everything.
Yeah, they used to come out there and watch his work, and we have a lot of because the guests them when they board the ships them they don't see the outside of the ship. Because they come from on the inside. And it's amazing how they be there and watching us tie up the boat, because they want to say, well, how y'all get this rope here? How y'all get this rope from way up there?
Way up there to down here.
To down here.
They don't know about the heaving line, the monkey fist.
So you got to go to that, explain it to them and stuff like that. And GB is amazed, man.
So let's walk through this. The ship comes in. They are now coming, and we got to mention trusters too now.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
sure
yes.
those trusters have some impact on on what you guys do.
Yeah, man.
So they're coming in, and the cruise ships now are very powerful.
Very powerful, man.
They got
Very.
isoports, they got,
Yeah,
got
man.
trusters in the bow, trusters in the stern.
Yeah,
so
man.
they can do anything.
Yeah, to the stern is voice up.
To the stern
Because
is worse.
the stern is where the engine is.
That's where the main engine is,
You get thrusters.
Plenty power.
You get thrusters, and plus you get engine. So, and you get the current pulling against you.
Yeah, that's true. Nassau Harbor has a lot of current.
You have a
Forget about that.
huge
Them
current.
lines getting the current, and they're already heavy.
They are very heavy, GB. You got all the trouble in the world. Sometimes we have to tie them off.
Yeah, just to hold it from.
Yeah,
from
tie them off. Because
otherwise
you can't
they
hold
get
up.
take. Yeah, no,
we
yeah.
get take. Or if we get in any trouble, what we'll do, we'll just ask the officer to just take it all the way back. They take it all the way back in.
Yeah, just
take
to
it
get
all the
some
way
slack.
back in. And then, when we almost get much closer, then you could send it out.
Wow.
Yeah, man, because, we had situations where ropes got caught up in the propeller and all,
Yeah, on cruise ships.
Yeah,
I never heard of that.
yeah, man, you had ropes caught
This when they coming in or when they heading out.
when they coming in.
So that would have been caused. Yeah, because when they have that thruster going,
Yes.
that could suck the rope in.
Yes, because they had to send out so much line to the catwalk.
That's another thing.
Yeah,
How many lines does a typical cruise ship put out?
Well,
I know it depends on how strong the weather is.
yeah, and then depends on the size, but normally we don't have very, very little small boats now. So
all of them are huge. Yeah,
all the
of them are very
all the
powerful.
ships now 10 to 12 lines. That's per
Wow.
end.
That's 10 to 12 lines on the stern and 10 to 12 lines on
To
the
the
bow.
bow. Yeah,
That's
man.
like over 20 lines
Yes,
for one ship.
yes. On the independence of the seas this morning, we had to the bow and to the stern. We had at least about almost 24 lines, 12 to the bow and 12 to the stern.
Wow. Because of the condition of the weather or
Yeah.
just that ship needs all those lines
Yeah,
in
because
normal weather?
They just put them out in normal weather.
We could talk about some of the position. Let's just see what our caller has to say. We got one caller so far.
Okay.
Good night, caller. You're on Maritime Matters. Hello.
Good night, gentlemen. How are you?
Oh, good night to you, my dear. We having ourselves some fun up in here. Thanks for calling, and yes, we are doing well. And please go ahead with your contribution.
Sure. Good night, Arthur. Sir Arthur, how are you?
Hi, how you doing? I'm good.
I'm good. This is Misty, by the way.
I thought that was Misty.
The Phillips did not mention who it is. Good to talk to you. I just wanted to say that longshoremen and stevedoring and all of that holds a very special spot in all of my family's hearts, obviously, because my grandfather being one of the first longshoremen to start up the union and all of that. So
Call his name now. Don't just talk about my grandfather. I know he ain't no Bain. You need to let people know who that is. Misty Bain.
the one and only
Wellington
Swan.
Hello.
So we come from a long line of that, and anyone who's still in the game would definitely know him. And he's trained a lot of people, and so yeah, and even the people that are still in the business from long ago, they've also become our family because I've known Arthur my entire life.
That's right.
Yes.
So
This Uncle Arthur to you.
Oh, yeah.
that's right, Uncle Arthur.
'Cause he's my brother too.
My uncle, Dexter Swan, he's still in the business and still going strong.
Mm-hmm.
My other uncle, Thaddeus Maxey, so, I mean, the
That's
line
right.
is long.
The line is
and I
long.
just want to say that I really appreciate all that you guys do because although we have, our number one industry, tourism, and of that, one of the more robust portions of that is the cruise ship industry, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys. So hats off to y'all. Definitely hold a near and dear spot in my heart. But I just wanted to find out how would a younger person who would want to go step into the maritime field in this particular area, how would they go about joining your ranks?
Okay, well, Misty, thanks again.
I'll hang up on you now, Misty. He's going to respond.
Okay.
Thank
Y'all
you.
take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, okay, Missy there. Thanks again. And like I was telling Captain Bain, if anybody are interested in joining the my team, which is Dockside Services, all you got to do is just get in contact with Mr. William Swan and let him know what your interests, and he will pass it on to me, and then I will take it from there.
Or just come onto the dock and inquire, and y'all would lead them in the right direction.
Yeah, if you're interested, you get in contact. I tell people, get in contact with him. Once you get in contact
but they
with
might
him.
not know how to reach him. I'm saying if they come to the dock where you guys are, they'll find out from you all how to reach him.
Right, yeah.
So come out to the dock. If you're interested in a girlfriend or boyfriend, you have to go and make your presence felt and try and inquire.
Yeah, go with
so if you're interested in this job,
Yeah.
you gotta go to the dock, grab one of these guys who ties up the ship. They're out there all the time on a 24-hour basis, and just inquire as to how do you go about trying to make application to get on a job like that. Mind you, they pay plenty of money, but you gotta work hard.
Yeah, the work is really a task, man.
Yeah, because you can't you really away from home almost all day.
All day
and almost all night.
The guys who doing the construction out there now, they every day they say, "Boss, when this job finish,
Right.
I hope you get space over there for me because I won't come over there." Because everybody just love the profession,
Yeah.
They just love the profession simply because you have a lot of hands-on experience with dealing with the cruise ships and with the car boats and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people just want to just venture into it.
Just to be up and close to the cruise ship, and then some of these cruise ships have so many passengers walking the docks.
Yes.
So, do they ever hint at what you guys doing with another ship? Let's say a lot of them leaving the dock and a ship coming in. And they got to be throwing lines and
y'all
have to keep them clear.
We have to keep them secure and
So
just
how you
make
always
sure.
do that?
Well, I normally be at one end.
Right.
Okay, and when I see the guy getting ready to heave the line, I just ask everybody if you could stand by for me, please. This gentleman is getting ready to throw the line over, and we just want everybody to stand clear.
So all of y'all got to be doing that.
Yeah, everybody got.
Once
to
the line you get through.
Yeah, but at certain end, they have no people up there.
Well, the forward area, the end of the dock.
Yeah,
but not nobody wandering that way.
It's where the busy end is.
Exactly.
So that's the end where I'll be.
Oh, you make sure you go where
I go down
where the
there,
risk is highest.
Yeah, I'll go down there and I say, well, anyway,
Okay.
gents, we got to make sure, keep the way clear because we don't want nobody to get hurt. Because those monkey fish, trust you me, they are heavy.
Yeah, that's like you get hit with rock.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're heavy.
Yeah, they have to be heavy because they got to lead
they got to throw them over
heaving
to
line.
you. Right,
they got to lead the heaving line. So
that's
why
they call heaving line.
Right.
Because they got to heave them over to you.
They got to heave them over to you, and then you got to pull out to get the big line.
You get the big line. And some ships...
Let's talk a little bit about that. You have the big line, but before they can't throw the big line because it's too heavy.
No, because it's too heavy.
So the heaving line, which is a smaller line,
right,
with a fist on it, what we call a monkey fist.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a knotted up,
and then
plaited line.
They have lead inside there too.
Some of them have weight.
Some have lead.
Because if the wind is blowing strong,
that'll never reach.
The fella from the cruise ship gotta get that on the dock.
You gotta get that on the dock.
And I've seen where it came to the dock and it rolled right back in the water.
Not even that, the captain, the fella make about 6 or 7 tries.
That's right.
And he ain't make it.
He couldn't make it. Yeah.
Some ships use air gun.
Yeah, they use the gun line. They call it gun line.
Right. To get them on there.
Put that monkey fist in a gun and boom.
Yeah, just shoot it over.
And that's the only way they'll get them.
That's the only
way heavy winds.
In heavy winds,
yeah.
In heavy winds.
But you guys on the dock gotta be on the lake because I see many times y'all have to step on heaving line to make sure it don't go back in the water.
Overboard because the fella that throw it so much times.
Yeah, you want to catch it whenever it reach.
Or sometimes they have to just retread it over and go further up to the top.
Yeah.
So he can get
a little more leverage.
Little more leverage and then throw it over. So
all of y'all got to be looking to try and trap it.
Because then it hit the dock, you got to try and get it.
And then it take a couple of y'all because now you're pulling that rope against the wind.
Yeah, because now you have the heaving line.
Right.
The heaving line is connect into a lead line.
Right.
That's connect onto the big one.
Right, so 3 different sizes.
So 3 different sizes.
The heaving line, which is a small
one. And
then the lead line, which is a little bigger.
A little bigger than the heaving line.
Because that got to take the weight of the big one.
Right, that's
the heaving line too small to take all that weight.
No, yeah, that's so the lead line. Yeah, that's the one we pull.
Right.
So you pull in the heaving line, which connect on the lead line.
When you get the lead line, then a couple of y'all start pulling.
Yeah.
And then when you get the big one, and everybody...
then everybody just get in. So, we could jump.
Wow.
Like, hey, listen, GB, my boys, I wouldn't trade them for
But y'all got to throw the heaving line back on the ship, eh?
No, we don't have to do that no more.
They come for it.
Yeah, no, we don't have to do that no. They have them connect on, and sometimes some ship use more than one. So we don't... Back in the 80s, we used to have to throw them back.
Also, they could throw another rope. Oh, but they get more than enough now.
Yeah, but we don't have to do that.
So whenever they get the rope, the heaving line comes with it.
Yeah, the heaving line comes
Oh,
with it.
yeah,
So
I remember I saw some tied on.
Yeah, they have more than one now. So,
Right.
Now, before time, like, you used to have and that's where all the fun is.
Because everybody got to be throwing line back.
You got to get that. You got to get that up inside there.
Yeah, otherwise it go in the sea.
Yeah, otherwise it go to sea, and then you got to keep on trying until you get it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Boy, well, the job is kind of exciting as well.
This is really, really exciting.
It's exciting, but when it gets real rough, it gets real rough.
It's real rough, yeah, and we get some beating out there, man.
So you got those 3 heaving lines. The line comes on. You put it over the bullet.
Right.
Now they tell you which bullet to put, which line, because now all those lines are coming from one area.
Yeah. No.
How do you know which one to use as a spring line?
They don't come from one area. No, well, basically.
Well, not all of them, but
but basically.
So you kind of know based on which fairly
once I find out,
ship.
once I find, if he say, well, this is my position right here,
Right.
we could determine whether he could go here or there.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know when he throw a rope on the dock, you look to see where it's coming from, and you know whether it's a bow line, whether it's a headline,
spring line,
or spring line,
breast line, or stern line. Yeah.
Plenty lines.
Each ship, you normally put up the spring line first.
Yeah.
You put up the spring line.
And let's tell them what spring line is.
Yeah, the spring line. That's the first.
That's the one that comes from the front forward section of the ship to like the side of the ship to stop the ship from moving forward
in the ship. Yeah.
They call it a forespring.
Right.
And then the back spring is the one that comes from near the back of the ship.
The back of the ship.
Near the center of the ship again.
Yeah.
To stop the ship from going backwards.
Yeah.
And then you got the headline.
Yeah, then your
or the bow
lines.
Which you could throw a couple of them over to keep the ship from moving off the dock.
Yeah.
Same thing with the stern lines. And then you get the breast lines again to help keep it tight on the dock.
Oh yeah.
And then each one of those lines you could have 3 or 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It depends on where the wind coming from, 5 or 6.
Yeah. Something like the ships them now. Each one of the ships now they carry 3 spring line
standard.
Wow. 4 breast line standard. 4 stern line standard. You get 2 sets of stern line.
Gee.
So you're looking at 10 to 12 rope every lap.
Yeah. On each side, like you said.
On each side, every lap. And if the wind pick up again,
or they can need more.
You can put out more. Yeah, we can put some extra rope.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
now, I know there's a conflict sometimes, but there used to be. I don't know about now. But a lot of times, the ships used to send their lines on the dock, but it used to block the cars from getting around the edge of the dock, and they used to complain.
Yeah.
Is that still the case? I mean, who else? But the ship is more important than the car.
Yeah.
So, however, the ship needs to put its line to make sure it's secured. The car doesn't go past.
Well, I never like how they use
blocking the dock.
Run rope across the dock.
Okay.
Simply because, just in case of an emergency,
right,
there's no vehicle can get past.
Yeah, that didn't make no sense.
No. Mm-hmm. But now, how the dock is building now,
yeah,
the putting rope across the dock can be a thing of the past. Because how they building it now, yeah, you ain't gonna be able to put no rope across the dock.
What are they doing different then?
Well, they put in a lot of shelters, for you to walk underneath.
Yeah.
And they putting them all around the dock, all around. So you ain't gonna be able to put some end of the dock. You ain't gonna be able to put no rope across the dock.
Okay.
No.
So that putting a rope to block traffic, but you all don't have much traffic coming on the dock now.
No.
You get the garbage.
No, not now. We very, very rare. We have garbage truck coming there now. Very rare.
Oh, garbage truck don't come on the dock?
Very rare.
So garbage be on the dock though?
No.
So ships, they use what, badges or something?
I guess they probably offload in the States or wherever they go. But
so all that activity
would be used to have one time ago?
Yeah.
No, we don't get that no more.
So garbage ships don't dump in Nassau like they used to.
Not like they used
garbage
to.
that goes.
Garbage used to be a big
thing. Because Bahamas base, they used to have like every ship had like 2 or 3 bins.
Captain Bean, we have a boat come here, the MSC Divina.
Right.
On a Friday. On a Friday, she doing requests nothing less than 6 to 7 bins on a Friday. And when she about to leave, she's still offloading garbage.
Wow.
I said 6 to 7 bins.
Yeah.
This one ship.
That's a lot.
And all the carnival boats used to offload garbage. All. So that's a thing of the past, man.
Okay, that's very interesting. So what kind of traffic do you have out there? Because that was the main traffic as far as I recall.
The only traffic we have out there now is
Emergency.
Tourists.
And ambulance when they need to come.
When they need to come.
Police when they need to come.
When they come. And
so it's mainly pedestrians?
Yeah. This is what it's designed for. That's why I tell you the shelter is putting it up.
Yeah.
For the pedestrian to walk underneath. Yeah, man. It's gonna be a beauty.
So you think they probably went up on a cost for them to dump garbage? I mean, why would they change that? You wouldn't know. No. But you know it changed.
Yeah. Very, very rare we have.
So mainly pedestrians moving across the docks now.
Across the dock. Yeah, man. Like you say,
golf carts still out there.
Golf carts still out there. Yeah.
Ambulance when they need ambulance. Police come to check every now and then.
We had an ambulance today to one of the carnival boats.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those trams, they still use the trams?
They get some new ones now.
Oh, they get new trams.
Oh yeah, they get some.
So a lot of trams out there now. Then.
Yeah, they get some new ones. They get some. Yeah, they get some new ones.
Okay. So after our time is rolling, we got about half hour left. So this is the time when I move to my second break.
Yeah.
And when we come back, let me just let the people know when we come back what the numbers are to call. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move to our second break in the show. So please stand by. We'll be back in a moment. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I got my good friend, Linehandling extraordinaire, Stevedoring, Mr. Arthur Gunn Johnson, and he is enlightening us as to what goes on when those large cruise ships coming into port, how are they secured? How are they released? What these line handlers go through? Because we may just think they tie up their own ship. Some people think they bring in their own ship. No, they got pilots to tie up. They got line handlers. And we got a career man in the business. So please feel free to call in. The number to call would be 326-8255. Again, if you want to call in and chime in on this discussion, please call us at 326-8255. I got my good friend, Brother Gunn Johnson, Arthur Johnson, here to lead us along as to how these ships are normally secured and released at Prince George Wharf and Arawa Key. So we got another call on line one. Okay, Arthur, let's see what this caller says before we move into our next series of questions. Good evening, my friend. Welcome to Maritime Matters. I'm doing well.
You got the rope man on board.
Oh yeah, I got the gun in the house.
Make sure that big boy tied down good, because you know there's plenty energy with the whole that one down to keep it where it needed to be to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, there's plenty, man. We got plenty men in the room tonight. Yeah, man. This.
My question is to you though.
Okay, go right ahead, my friend.
Question a few shows ago, in reference to like when you get in that big boat, you don't have to be a cruise ship, but any big vessel that is going to travel like say 1,000 miles or more, or it could be any like far distances, right?
Yeah.
Do you use like the compass to go on that mission, or you only use the compass for a reference after you find out what true north is and do your declaration?
Well, use the navigator. You want to get me going with this navigation thing? Yeah, I like that kind of question.
I don't know.
No, you right on point. basically, when you're going on a long voyage, you got to do what you call a voyage plan. You got to make sure you get all the charts you can need. You put on your truck on those courses, because you know when you get in certain areas, you want to use different charts that are closer to the land, so you can navigate if you got to go through some treacherous areas. So you do your voyage planning, but if you're doing an ocean voyage, of course, your compass.
I use the compass per se directly. Say, when I go in north, and I get to look at my compass and I'm going north, because if the magnetic north is different from true north.
Yeah, but most of these big ships have what you call gyro compass. The gyro compass is not magnetic. It is always pointing on true north.
True north, okay.
So you don't need variation and declination. But of course, if your gyro compass broke down and you got to rely on your magnetic compass, every ship's have magnetic compasses as well.
Calculation to determine exactly which degrees you have to go also from the compass to determine exactly your destination.
Your chart compass rules will give you the variation and declination. You would apply them when you're going from compass course to true course, and you will know what to steer based on the fact that you're using the magnetic north.
Yes, sir. So I asked these questions. I know boatman, right? I could build boat, right? Because my first boat I built I was selling boats like I was like 12, 13, 14 of the age, about 15. And I had to break up my little dinghy because my mother asked me, say, what is that? Because I started with the little small, the commodity ones.
Yes.
Little ones that made out of paneling and 2x6 and 8 and stuff. And they started building a dinghy, but 10 feet. In the back when we were living in Cape Loose with them, right?
Oh, so you really like boats? I mean, usually on the family island we do the Kamali beam boats and we just have races. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Let me finish this, but I want to say something about boat after this, right? But I mom went to build a boat, right? But then my mom, when she walked in the kitchen door, she said, like, what's that? I said, a boat. She said, what you do with that? What I could do with because Captain Lockett and Captain Boyce together was fishing.
Right.
Marina, right? I said, so when they can't carry us, we could just go out fishing. He said, yeah, break it up. I cried, mate. I never built a boat since then. But you know what I was thinking, right? I saw the other day across the park, they had this like urban thing or something like with the kids there. Must be about 500 kids or so. All of them have an orange shade or something on, and they went on this park and like just. I look at it, right, and I say to myself, boy, this is a lot of manpower and human energy to be just put into a play and to be doing the conventional basketball and this and that. When I could see in my mind, I see that if you get, like, say, 10, 50, 20, 30, even 100 of those kids, right, and you start to build a boat, right, and you have these kids around and you give them different things, what you want them to do on this project, and the manifestation of that. They'll take the minds of some of these kids off the gun and all of the crime and stuff, because they'll focus their minds on the things that can happen and manifest from directly out of the brain, man.
That is correct.
And we have water all around us, and it wouldn't be so inspiring is that when it's built, you can actually put it in the water and you can use it. Yeah. And that's the inspiration there, and that will empower plenty children to basically to get into the boat building.
To the maritime in general.
People who do it, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's like, we should push for stuff like that. I mean, the basketball and stuff cool, and the sports and the cool, But I feel like we need to have more in the technical aspect of, like, the say, using our natural resources, stay on the ground, and all kinds of stuff. We have trees, whatever it is, to make things. Because when we look at all of these stuff that is imported, everything comes from the ground.
That's right.
Everything comes from the ground.
Well, that's a good idea, and anything you could do with kids at a young age to get them involved in anything maritime, they would take that up, because it's kind of natural for them, and they all want to do it.
Yeah,
know.
And you notice another thing, right? Like in the past couple of weeks, we have a lot of drownings. We just a drowning. They have another 11-year-old, right?
That's right. It's so sad, man. So sad.
I think we need to focus, because the water is a part of our heritage too. You know that, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Be more on the land, and I mean, like inspire these kids, like basically, like on the island they do it sometimes, right? But I mean, like in Nassau, we got a whole lot of kids just dressing, man.
Yeah.
Boys and girls could get into it,
Yeah, but we need to set up programs for that to happen, but particularly in the communities. I mean, urban renewal is a good area.
We could do something like that, because I raised carpenter, man.
This voice sounds quite familiar.
My level of skill, boat is a joke.
Yeah, this voice sounds quite familiar. I think I know who this is. I trying to be sure now.
Yeah, we'll make a guess and see if you're sure.
Your name is Simonet?
Yeah, man.
Boy, you know who I am, right?
I may talk to you on. I may tell you.
No. Don't try to sky out of this. You know who I am, right?
Captain Ben.
Yeah, but do you know who I am? Me and you would have done something together back in the day.
Maybe it's the wake in the ballroom, eh?
That's not true. Well, I mean, I know. I talking about that time when you came to Portisky when you was cutting that song about the
that's right, eh?
Me and you go on the boat and we use the radio and we was.
Guess what? I didn't know that, right? I didn't listen to that song, right?
But that song hard. Hey, I still have that song. You know, I could be playing that. I could play that in my next show.
Yeah, because I tell you no lie. I do a couple of songs, right? And I listen to he was singing Independence Morning
right.
Priscilla Rollins weekend, right?
Uh-huh.
And I tell you no lie, right? When I listen to Priscilla Rollins and I cry and how people are just really checking for from the time of '73. You know?
Yep.
When I look at Benny Hill, right? It's so much. I feel that's what she said because you know I got into the same foolishness. To be a Bahamian and to go out there, because you remember that song when I did that song, I go on the ground and it was almost like a movie. I'm going to tell you, Mr. Ben.
That song supposed to be a big hit, though. I really don't understand why that was not a big. And when I listen to it, even now, I still listen to it every now and then. It is so live. It's I don't know why that didn't go far.
No, but understand what happened. You know, when I want to release that song, right? I'm going to release that song for 9 months because
of the inquiry.
They said if I release that song within the gates.
Oh, yeah.
The song cannot play. I said, who the minister they would never tell me.
But it ain't never too late, man. You still could release that. It can't be a problem now, eh?
But I mean, that's been on long time, man.
Yeah, but the song has it's a good song. You need to release that.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to talk about that. That's what we need to talk about.
Hey, Captain Ben.
Yes, sir.
They get voice is still ringing in my head, you know. Mayday.
Exactly. That's why when you start talking, I say, boy, this sound like some of that. You know, this. I haven't seen you from that time.
Yes, sir. I right there, man.
Yeah,
I speak well from everybody, man. And one of these something, Captain Ben, I tell you no lie, right? I'm a person who balls by myself, right?
Uh-huh.
Beating myself, right? And right now, I'm in my life right now, right? I'm trying to be myself, right? And the people who live around me and think they're just being a nuisance in my life.
Man, you know we got to go through that.
Hey, let me tell you something. You know what's bad when they're going to put a chair in your driveway for you to damage your car?
Oh, my goodness. What area you live in, Brother Simon?
The dumbest things that people doing to me. And they don't never stop. And they hear me talking on the phone now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, it'll be some dump or something to say, or some bull.
Just
These
keep...
people are just...
You know, my guest tonight lost his aunt. They buried her on Saturday, and now he's getting ready to bury his sister on Saturday coming.
Okay, my condolences.
Yeah, thank you, man. But we got a lot going on with some people. I mean, them little small things. I don't even tune into them. You know, when people, because you can always have haters. You can always have haters.
I don't tune into it, right?
Yeah.
But it's like because. If the people ain't there, they leave people alone.
I agree.
People ain't there, do you leave them alone? And these people don't want how bad it is. Mm-hmm. It's like, because they don't say sometimes what they could do with me and my family, right? With the nights, right?
Yeah.
And I say nothing to them.
Okay.
And they cut care every time they cut. Like they own someone and they make me go against myself to talk to them. I said, it's not crazy stuff.
I know, Brother Simon. But look, you that's all the fault, my brother. We're going to get back to some maritime stuff up in here.
Something like Captain Ben, I tell you, right?
Yeah.
So that same thing with the boat building thing, man. Some initiative like that to government and things like that would be powerful for these children, man.
I agree.
I wouldn't mind showing some of the kids some techniques. I tell you, man, because there's a builder, right?
Yeah. I got a good friend, Brother Kendall Butler. He's done books on boat building. He's going to be on the show soon. He and I talk a couple of times. I'm going to track him down. But that boat building is a serious thing. I mean, those.
You see the boats where they use for these regatta and this and that, right?
Yeah, the sloop.
What they got, right?
The sloops, yeah.
They do building, right? But these men need to do a little better, you know.
But you know they got the young fella from, well, I ain't that young now, but from Long Island, when they had the regatta in Barratari the other day, was it Rollville homecoming? He built a boat within 3 weeks and beat up everybody.
Yeah, well, that's what somebody from them. We look at just two things positively, right? But I guarantee you, right? The you who build that boat, right? You know what? He take his time, right? And he go through an equilibrium, center of gravity, and hull depth, how the cuts will work. Want to do something?
Yeah.
People look at this as copy. This is copy. We don't put no ideology or even no kind of disable. You know that the aerodynamics is important, right?
Yeah.
And that could be in water, could be
Air,
in
anything,
air,
yeah.
could be almost anything, right?
Yeah, man.
And you know what? It's like we don't put that in the equation. Even when we build our homes and stuff, when we look and see the hurricane coming, why is it off? And why do you think that we got to ask these dumb questions? Look at what you're building. You're building square. Your building is the one straight thing up, and all that do is like a sailing event.
But you know, when you design, when you talk about ship design, now you got a lot of curves, and like you say, you got a G-force and center of gravity, and it's a different thing altogether. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. But want to say something? It all. I mean, I mean, as a builder, you must understand the equilibrium of it too, because like a plane, like a boat.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And it's like right and left. It's like everything has to be equally balanced.
That's right.
You understand? But people just build haphazardly and just but she finish and just nobody. You playing with this thing, right?
No, you gotta have a passion. You gotta have a passion for this, man.
I wish the government take me on and let me show some of these kids and see some ways how to do some stuff. Okay?
Well, let's push for that.
I doubt that.
Let's push for that. You can start.
Like one thing, you know what they say in my country? People like me will always be on the outside, while people are moving in, they could go to school. School don't mean nothing. You have to know what you're doing in your field. I don't care what it is, what you do. And guess what? You can go to school, right? They teach you what they teach you, but you don't care to learn beyond what you've been taught.
Yeah, but
right?
then it come to maritime. Now remember that most of our people in maritime grew up around the docks. Like my guest right now, he grew up around the docks because of his father and his uncle and all them. And then the fellas who work on the mailboat, most of them grew up around Borderski dock.
On the island, yeah, man.
And on the island and stuff. Yeah, that's why on the defense force we had a lot of them.
And guess what? They went around the sea. When you see, I don't care how big and strong you is. Once you get on the water, that shows how strong you is. You get on like a little girl on the boat warming up.
That's the equalizer right there. Okay, my brother. But thanks for calling Maritime Matters. Man, you ain't calling me for long. That's the second time I think you call. I know that voice. So you know I know what I said.
When I called you one time, I was trying to tell you, man, when you wait together, man, but I guess it was the wrong because, man, I remember, I know your voice like day.
Yeah, man, me and you meet on party. When you came on the dog that night and, we got together and we make things happen.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I really appreciate it. And like you say, that song is a hit. I thought it would have really been played in where it is. But, I mean, we never know where it is. Because, I mean, it's like, I guess one day for everything, man. Sometimes just be too ahead of its time. You know, it takes time for people to really, to sink into it, to understand it. A generation later, or it may be like 2 generations later. Like me, I've been a musician a long time ago, right? Like some of the songs I heard as a child, right? I say, hate them. Especially when I was engaged and when I married, that song called Secret Lovers. Boy, I hate that one so much. But you know what? When I listen to that song, I think, like, nah, right? I think it's a bad song,
Yeah. Well, we can resurface that one. We can resurface that one, and people will get to appreciate it because now you can be free.
Play that on your song, I give you permission to play it. That's my song. That's, I mean, like, hold on, that's a tragedy with the Bahamas with the United Stars.
That's right.
2 persons lost their lives, but 24.
But that's a maritime song, so I might make that my theme song. Who knows? We can see how that goes.
You already want to do, but stop that Mayday. Come on, man.
Okay, Brother Simon, I appreciate your call, man. Let me get back to my guest and continue to watch us on Maritime Matters and feel free to call anytime, my friend. Take care. All right. Yeah, that's my I don't know him personally. I mean, I know him now personally enough, but we met one night on the dock, and this around the time when we had that incident with the Seahawk in the United States. And he was cutting a song. I didn't even know he was a musician. And he was asking me to assist him with getting some people to replay the radio. Man, that came off so nice. But anyway, done. With my good friend Nahaj used to say on the show, we digress.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to things. Yeah. So some ships carry their own gangway. And then you all used to provide gangway for some, or they used to keep their gangway in Nassau, so when they come, you all would take it to them and secure
set it up.
Is that still the case?
Yeah, that's still the case.
So how do you all deal with those gangway with those forklift?
Well, we don't deal with them no more.
So that ain't the case no more?
No. It's still the case, but we don't deal with that.
Or someone else deal with that?
Yeah, the port take care of that themselves.
Wow. Well, the port's trying to thief you up from you all then?
Well, they take care of that themselves.
Well, we gonna have to deal with that, right? I know you can't say, I could say.
No.
But I think we have to address that.
Yeah.
I can't see. Anyway, I can leave that right there for now. We'll talk about that off air. But we have to address this situation where they think this new port will come and just cause Bahamians to don't have jobs that they used to have. Because that, to me, don't make no sense. And these fellas kind of greedy. And they know I don't like them. But anyhow, we're not offloading car boats. Let's go to car boats.
Okay.
Because we only got, 12 minutes? Boy, you see how far? You see what I tell you, right?
I tell you, yeah, man.
12 minutes and the show finished.
GB, I need at least about 3 hours with you, man.
We can need plenty more time.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
let's move to car boats.
Yeah.
Although we didn't finish talking about the cruise ships. We'll drink a bit of water.
Yeah.
Excuse me, listeners, but submit my throat this now. Okay, car boats. They call them car carriers in the international world. Really? The ship look like a box.
Yeah.
They don't have thrusters.
No.
So the pilots can't tell trying to tie them up. But we use tugs, of course, to tie them up. And really all they're doing is toting cars from the Far East,
Yeah.
everywhere else in the world. Mainly Japanese cars.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever had none of them with American cars. But we close. Maybe American cars go somewhere else in that type of ship. But the Japanese is what we deal with. And you guys have sometimes hundreds of cars on one of those visits.
Yeah.
Like, 500? Sometime more?
Yeah, we just had one on Thursday. We had 780, almost 800
Almost 800 cars on one vessel.
on one vessel.
So, okay, now, with these car boats, there ain't got enough people to move those cargoes. So y'all actually deal with driving the cars off the ships.
Yeah. Our job is
So you tie up the ship first.
we tie the ship first,
They got to put that big
put the ramp down. Yeah.
That's a big ramp.
Oh, yeah. That take about almost half an hour to 45 minutes.
To secure the ramp properly.
Yeah.
Because all the cars got to come on this ramp, so they
All
got to
the
make sure
cars
that
gotta come in,
that really positioned properly.
Yeah.
Okay, so after you get the ramp on,
Then customs got to go board,
customs clear the ship,
clear the ship.
and then you start.
Yeah, then when custom clear the ship, then the agent, he give us the okay, and we go board, and the first thing we need to do, I go to the chief officer, and he gave me a storage plan,
Right.
which indicate to me where all of the cars for Nassau.
All the cars for this
Nassau.
destination, for this port call,
yeah.
coming off.
Yeah, it's a
Which
storage
deck?
plan. Which deck, and they have
Which
it color
slot?
coded. They have it color coded.
Or the slots?
No, just the deck. Yeah, in the storage plan, they have the deck and they have color coded. All the cars for Nassau will be in green. So we go to deck 10,
Oh.
deck, we start from up, come down. Deck 11, deck
So when
10.
you get on the ship, it ain't gonna be in green. How you gonna know which one for Nassau when you get on board when you reach that deck? How you
Yeah.
know which, or all the cars on that deck will be for Nassau?
All the cars on that deck will not be for Nassau. We have to look, and all of the cars are marked on the windshield or on the side.
Mark Nassau?
Yeah.
Would they use a piece of cardboard? What would they use
No,
to mark it?
They have one of those,
A decal, like?
one of those markers. Yeah, those
They put it on the windshield. Where they put it?
Put it on the windshield and on the door.
Oh, not on the dashboard.
Yeah, and then they have one hangs from the rear mirror on the
Right.
inside.
Oh, so you can't go wrong.
No, you can't go wrong.
Okay, so where you get your drivers from to drive them off the ship? Because you ain't want them back up. Or you don't want them damaged. So
No.
you need people who could drive.
Who could drive, yeah.
People like me. You don't
Yeah.
ever ask me, gun.
No, but you could come in. I don't have to ask you. You could come anytime. You know who you is? Who's Captain Dave? I don't have to ask you. You could come anytime.
Man, I think I could drive better than most people. I better come drive some.
this-
I get paid for that too.
Yes, I mean.
You get paid when you drive the ship, the car off?
Yes, this is
Man,
not for free.
What?
Come on, man.
Okay.
This last car boat we had, I had about almost 50 drivers.
You serious?
Yeah, man.
Where you find them?
GB, I gotta get people, man.
So you have people basically on call and you just let them know,
Yeah.
well, a car boat coming, I need you.
And people them always
Always
people
willing.
behind me every day, GB, every day.
So could I ask how much they make per car? Or that's something we need to
we
talk
pay by
about?
the hour.
Oh, they get paid hourly.
Yeah, we get paid hour.
So suppose somebody's slunking, man, I drive 10 cars more than my man, and we get the same pay?
The more time you make, the more money you make.
But all us making the same amount of
You
time.
get paid by the hour.
Okay, all right. So you drive the car off the ship to where?
Yeah, we have a lot where we call the lay down lot. Which,
Oh.
if you coming on our key going to Betty K, the big open lot on the left hand side there.
That's where the cars go?
Yeah, that big old fencing area right there. Yeah, we call that the lay down. And then we put some of them on the inside of the port, on the inside to the more to the south. Like when you come in with the security booth or that big area right there,
Right.
we fill that up first.
Oh.
Then when we finish that full, then we go over to the lay down.
Right.
Yeah.
So the lay down, the cars go to the lay down, and they basically there until customs clear them, or
Custom clear them and tell the people.
okay.
to
So
come.
now when I drive a car to the lay down area, how do I get back to the ship to get another car?
But we have a bus.
Or you shuttle?
Yeah, we have a bus. We have a chitney sized bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that picks up all the drivers.
It's a big operation.
Yeah, this GB, we do this.
So what happened if I go to drive a car and the car can't start?
What do you mean, on the boat?
Yeah.
Well, we check it to see, when more than half of the time, the batteries be dead.
Well, I'm thinking that's so. What happens if
The
the
batteries
battery
be
dead?
dead.
How do you deal with that?
Okay, well, we have boosters on. We have boosters. We have about 4 to 5 boosters.
What is a booster?
Booster with a jump booster.
I know. I want my listeners to know though.
Oh.
Battery
Yeah.
boosters.
Yeah, this is a battery booster.
It's something you
that
connect to the battery
that
and it gives it instant charge.
Yeah, they have 2 cables, one positive, one negative.
Give it battery. It's like a battery charger.
Like a battery charger. Just put it on, turn it on, and it go. Now, in some instance, we just have to use 2 booster on 1 car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, because the battery is out.
Oh, so you really need to give it juice.
You really need to give it some juice. So sometimes we have to use 2 boosters on 1 car.
Once the car starts, that's fine.
Yeah, once the car starts, that's
But
fine.
those cars
and
run
then
well,
sometimes you just have to leave the booster in the hood because the battery's so dead. If you take it off, the car just cut off. So we just have to leave the booster in the hood.
So what about if a car is flat?
If the tire is flat,
Yeah, one tire flat.
okay. If it's 1 tire flat, well, they don't require you to drive on our key with a flat tire. So we have to either get it pump up with air, or we have to call a wrecker.
So you always have a wrecker
Yeah,
on
we have
site.
wrecker on standby. Yeah, man.
So a wrecker would take it off the ship, off the ship.
Yeah. Once he can get to the deck where the wrecker
Once he can get, yeah.
Yeah, once he can get up there, then
But he should be able to drive up there if the car could drive down.
no, not on. He can't get on all of the decks.
Why? He too tall?
Yeah, the truck is too high.
Oh.
Because he used the flatbed, you see, not
Right.
the one that hook it up from the back.
Oh, so you just pull the
flatbed.
whole car up on the flatbed and
With
just
the
drive it
wheel
off.
car. So you have to go on the deck where he could.
So you all have to move that car then.
Yeah.
Although it's flat, you move it to another deck.
They move it to another deck where he could get it.
Right.
Yeah. So we probably want to bring it down like 2 flights there, two decks down.
So this involves more than just the hop in the car and go. Because sometimes you have
No,
problems.
man.
You just have hiccups.
GB, we have all kind of hiccups. This last car boat we had there, we had about 5 or 6 vehicles. We couldn't even find the keys.
Wow.
I talking about these cars drive on the boat.
But
we
they can locate the right key.
We couldn't find the keys.
Well,
no
who
keys.
would normally have the keys? What do you mean they couldn't
keys,
find them?
The keys normally be in them.
Oh, so somebody would have taken them out. Well, they drive them on, so somebody had to move them.
Where they load them on, they probably, just probably missing, just probably walk off and put it in the pocket.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we dig up the car.
But that's your own problem.
Yeah, because we had to call a record.
Wow.
We had to call a record, and we had to bring them up from deck 10, bring them down to deck 7, because deck 7 is the highest deck, and that's where you had to go.
Oh.
So the car, the wheel can't unlock. You can't put the car.
Oh, so you gotta have a flat bed to carry them.
Yeah, you got to have a flatbed because it can't drive.
So how do you get them up to the next deck? What just move them up? How, forklift? How you get the car from that deck to the deck where the wrecker could go?
Yeah, we have used a wheel lift. We use a wheel lift that we could turn it. You understand? That we could turn it so it could come down the ramp. You see, we just put it to the end of the ramp.
Right.
Put it to the beginning of the ramp, like in an angle. You put it on the table, and then you just let it roll right down. Roll right down. Then we stop it. Then we go down there. Put the wheel lift underneath again. Turn it so it can go down to the next ramp.
So you're manually getting it to the next deck.
Yeah, that's Captain being as ones where we could get it down there.
So it take a couple of y'all to do that.
Oh yeah, we have to have at least about 6 to 8 persons.
Wow. Well, Gun, we only got 3 minutes left.
GB, it's Captain being.
And in this 3 minutes,
Yes, sir.
I gotta get my sponsors a little say something.
Oh yeah, right away.
And in this 3 minutes, I want you, if you have anybody you want to give a little quick shout out to be able to say hello so and so or hi so and so or whatever. Or if you ain't got nobody to give a shout out to, we got a couple more questions.
Yeah, man, let's do some questions, man.
Let me just speak to my sponsors. We got One-on-One Pharmacy, my good cousin Shantia Hill McBride, She run a good show. She got a good staff. And hello to Joy, who served me today and make sure I was straight. Joy don't play, right? And I got some of my good cousins working with her too. Her mommy, Stephanie's my good cousin. And I got, I forget. Lord, I could be in trouble tomorrow. Anyway, plenty of my family working there. And one-on-one pharmacy people, that's where you want to go for good treatment. Anytime you need meds, oneononepharmacy.com. If you want to call in ahead of time, or if you just want to go online and get your stuff organized like I did, and go and just pick it up and keep going. Otherwise, I'd have been late for the show. Thanks again, Joy. You got me out on time. We're also sponsored by Bahamas Maritime Connection and Totally Secured Security and Investigation Services. Headquartered in 8 Mile Rock, call my boy Andrew Sturrock. His number 819-8944. He will get you straight with your security services, your security investigations, your security officers, security guards, whatever you want. Andrew got it covered. So that being said, Brother Gunn, do you have any shout-outs? Anybody you want to say? What about all the guys who you wake with? Any of them you want to just give a little hello to? Are you seeing them round the clock, etc., etc.?
Give a shout out to.
Let's call some of the names of those guys who do this work.
Yeah, give a shout
Thaddeus.
out to my boys from Dockside Services. My linesman, the best there is.
Let's call some names, man. Let's call some names.
Leo Morley.
Leo, that's my cousin.
That's your cousin.
Yeah, indeed.
You get Leo Morley, you get Eric Stubbs, you get Glenn Brown.
Right.
You get Dennis Fowler, you get Eugene Glinton, you got Anthony Williams, you got, who else I got there? You got Alvin Green. That's my crew, GB.
That's your crew.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's say shout out to Dockside Services. And, I appreciate you, Gunn, for especially during this type of time in your life when you in between two funerals of very, very close people. I know you and your aunt was very close. Yeah. But 3 years ago, I lost my aunt. I lost 3 people within 6 months. I lost Hetty, my aunt, right on East Street, opposite Mount Pleasant Church. Mm-hmm. And then I lost my stepmother, Billy, who lived in Orlando. She, my old man, they have a child together. So my sister's mom, just, when I go to Orlando, we used to always hang out by her and all that. She, 3 months later, and then 3 months after her was my mother.
Whoa.
Yeah, my mother, and all this in 2019, within a 6-month span.
Wow.
And then the following year, I lost my oldest aunt, and Canetta Monroe, Titter. Yeah. I lost her the following year. So this is a period where we're losing a lot of close people, Wow. So, again, condolences to you and your losses at this moment. But, life goes on and we will do this again.
Yeah, GB.
We will do this again.
I appreciate
it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have no more calls in. Hope you enjoyed our show tonight. Please feel free to tune in next week for another episode of Maritime Matters. And with that, I say to you, Maritime Matters out.